Hey there, yogis and spiritual seekers. How are you? My name's Crystal Gray. I'm the creator of the Crystal Gray Yoga Method, and it is my mission to support those that really want to make the world a better place. You might be sick and tired of all the negativity and division around you and on this planet right now. If that's you and you want to actually do something about it, this is the channel for you. So how I do this, how I support you in this, is by helping you to see that in order to really create massive change in the world, even little changes, is by doing the inner work first, right? So whenever you do the inner work, it's really going to show up in your reality. Your reality will start to shift and change. Whenever you start to heal, you're going to heal the world, all right? So by doing that inner work, it's really not about burying your head in the sand. It is not about spiritual bypassing. That is not what it is. Doing the inner work is the most important thing that you can do to help the planet and those on the planet at this time. So in today's video, I'll be talking about judgment and letting go of that. If you'd like to join us in community, I'd love to have you in the Yoga Goddess Collective over on Facebook. Enjoy the video. In this video, I'll be talking about how you can begin to let go of fear of judgment, mostly fear of how you judge yourself, but also fear of others judging you. And you might not even know who the others are, right? It just might be somebody out there. You're worried about what they're going to say about you, right? If you put yourself out there. So when you're thinking about doing something new or putting yourself out there in the world a bit more, you might say things to yourself like, who am I to do that? Or why would people listen to me? I don't know enough. I don't even have my life together. I'm not perfect. I'm not qualified, right? So I wonder if any of those sound familiar. If any of those sound familiar, let me know in the comments so I know that I'm not alone. While we might think that we're worried about other people's opinions of us, if we were 100% confident and we really knew what we were doing in our hearts was what we feel like we should be doing, then other people's opinions wouldn't really matter, would they? So if you knew that you were following your soul's calling, they wouldn't matter. Other people's opinions wouldn't matter. If you knew that you were following your intuition, other people's opinions wouldn't matter, right? So most likely you struggle even more with judgment of yourself. This is the voice that I call your inner mean girl, and it can be a real a-hole. It tells you lies based on feedback that you've received in the world over your lifetime, right? And really it's the ego that's trying to keep you safe, and that's its job. But growth doesn't come from safety. It comes from pushing through the discomfort. And so I found this really good article that actually goes with everything that I was saying. And it was really amazing how much it ties in. So this is from mindbodygreen.com and is written by Erica Matlock. And she says, shame typically stems from our teen years when we build our identity. As we explore and express who we are, the world around us provides positive feedback for the things that we do well and subtly discourages us from pursuing our weaknesses. Isn't that interesting? Over time, we emphasize those characteristics, behaviors, and qualities that we are validated for, and we instinctively choose to hide our vulnerabilities, flaws, and imperfections. Okay, this leads to a fragmented identity, one that makes us feel quite confident because we are defining ourselves by the things that we're positively acknowledged for, but it's incomplete because we're excluding all of our insecurities. Feeling confident in who we are supports us in pursuing higher education and building successful careers, but we remain incomplete. All right, so the more the world around us validates this identity, the more we are driven by perfectionism, self-judgment, and criticism. Every time we want to pursue something that makes us feel insecure, our critical mind raises its voice and keeps us small. Shame keeps us small. It's a protective mechanism, and it served us well in earlier life, right, when we were younger, but it comes with huge limitations. Shame keeps us incomplete, yet tells us we are not enough. I'm going to read that part again. Shame keeps us incomplete, yet tells us that we are not enough. Okay? Shame drives our pursuit of perfection, yet says that we are not worthy. Shame tells us the things we really want in life are not possible, and they aren't when we are driven by the voice of shame because we're not whole. And the only way to expand what is possible for yourself is to expand yourself in pursuit of wholeness, aka healing. This requires you to welcome all the parts of yourself and hiding back so you can integrate them into your psyche, right? And so that's why you are in community with me, because you have this mission, you have this bigger mission that you do want to start creating change. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that I say that change has to start within, and it might be called healing, right? So we're kind of calling pieces of us back, those old pieces that we let go because we didn't think that that's what the world wanted of us, right? So how do you do this? There's a few different ways you can do it on your mat and off your mat. So I'm going to talk about a couple of those different ways. So off of the mat, it's all about awareness. Notice when your inner mean girl is trying to keep you safe, which is actually just keeping you small. So I want you to remember that. And you need to work on reframing your mind. So start talking back to that voice. Don't let her run the show anymore. And in my yoga teacher trainings, I always say, instead of her being like in the seat, like the passenger seat, put that inner mean girl in the back seat. And then one of my students, Taylor, she said, I'm going to put her in the trunk, right? So that she's still there, because she's probably never going to go away, but you're not like she's not sitting up in front with you giving the direction. She's not the navigator, right? You are. So what part of you, okay, actually I'm going to get to that in a second. So start talking back to that voice and don't let her run the show anymore. Usually we believe that voice because we think that it's us, when in reality, it's not us. It's just our thoughts. And this is really, really important. This is probably the most important part. We are not our thoughts. Okay. Have you ever thought of that before? Let me know in the comments if you have. We are what observes our thoughts. Okay, so just let that sink in for a second. We are what observes our thoughts. We are awareness of our thoughts, not the thoughts. Okay, so stop making your identity be what your thoughts are telling you that you are. Redefine who you are by creating her now. Okay, you can journal about it. What does the highest version of you look like? What is your soul calling you to do? What is your intuition saying to do next? Those would be great questions to journal about. Pull a daily oracle card if you need a bit more guidance, if you don't fully trust yourself yet. Okay, free write. So just sit down and write. Don't even think about what's coming out. Ask yourself one or all of those questions and then just write. Don't judge it. Just write whatever comes out. It can be 3 pages long. Just write. In yoga, we can do this by focusing on bringing balance to the solar plexus chakra. So this is the center of self-acceptance and personal power. If you experienced trauma during its formative years, which was between the ages of 15 and 21, this could be some of the reason why you have like a skewed sense of reality whenever it comes to, having to be perfect or just judging yourself a lot. So if you had trauma between the ages of 15 and 21, could be a little bit more out of whack. So you might want to focus a little bit more on the solar plexus to bring that back into balance. You could also work on letting go of judgment of yourself on your mat. And if you're in class with others, letting go of judgment of them or worrying about their judgment of you. Okay, just being aware of those thoughts is what's really, really going to change things. Just be curious. It's okay if you're thinking those thoughts a lot throughout the day, because you probably will notice like, oh my God, I can't even believe that I'm thinking this like that all day long, right? So being aware of it. That's the first step, is being aware. So just be proud of yourself for doing the work. Okay, some affirmations that you could use would be, I believe in myself, I am valid, I matter, I trust myself, I am good enough. Okay, so those would be really good things to say throughout the day. And then I also chose a mudra. It's called Sepana Mudra. And this one I put in my yoga class for the week. But this mudra is really amazing because it has to do with the Apana Vayu. And the Apana Vayu is the downward flow of energy within like your energetic body. And it really helps to release things. So it's like this. You interlace all the fingers except for the pointer fingers, and then you point it down. Okay, so I hope that this really helps you. If you're interested in doing the actual yoga practice and doing that work on the mat, you can totally just incorporate everything that I just said, or you can check out the membership as well. So I would love to know in the comments if this helped, and I hope that you have a very, very great day. Don't forget, be aware today. That's your assignment. Be aware. All right? Okay, namaste. Bye.